You are listening to Shaoni, Born from the Light, by Iowan, read by Kevin M. Connolly. Chapter 33. Your dream car, vanished in thin air. Once I dreamt about a world of pure potentiality. A world in which all of my thoughts got realized instantaneously. Any thought at all, beautiful or frightening. A most frightening experience it was, as I seemed to have no control over my thoughts. Imagine such a world existed, and imagine you had control over it. It had been a while, but there they were again. The lights were back, except this time, Aniola hadn't even touched him. Before, when Shaoni had experienced the world of the 1,000 lights, as he called it, the wizard had always touched his hand first. But now, the wizard hadn't done anything at all. He wasn't even around. Shaoni felt very proud. "I will be a wizard yet," he thought. He looked around, kind of weary. Things weren't as clear as he remembered them to be from the previous times. The light entities had more of a human shape this time, as if they hadn't fully transformed into light yet. Or was this only because of the way Shaoni looked at them? Maybe his own vibrational frequency hadn't been high enough, now that the wizard wasn't present. Maybe he saw the Andalin, but still saw the physical as well, sort of at the same time. Yes, he realized, that is what it was. He was seeing both worlds at the same time. Shaoni looked around again. This was pretty weird, he felt. As he tried to understand the things he saw, he gradually started to recognize some of the entities around as being people he knew. He didn't see them as he normally did, though. They were sort of shaded, with no clear-cut edges as in the physical world. No, they were fading out, as it were. Although fading in maybe would be a better way of putting it, as they faded into the surroundings. Some of the people Shaoni saw even faded in with the entities standing next to them. Others did the same, but they blended with people who were at a distance. Distance didn't seem to matter much here. Whenever one of the people in the room would think about someone else, the blending sort of started, and the stronger they felt, the more the colors blended. It didn't really matter how far apart they were. No, in the world of the energies, these things didn't seem to matter. Shaoni quietly observed all of the people around. They were here, in the present, in the physical world. Yet at the same time, he saw them as you could only see them from within the world of the 1,000 lights. It was an incredible spectacle. Shaoni just couldn't stop watching. Every time somebody thought about someone else, Shaoni could see how the colors of that person changed, how his colors interfered with the other person, like a musical play of colors dancing. Other people came into Shaoni's range of vision, all of them thinking about something different. As Shaoni observed them, he saw how the colors started to shift with every single thought or feeling these people had. It didn't matter if these feelings were directed towards someone else or not. As soon as they had a feeling, or an idea, or just a thought even, the colors would start to shift, move around, dancing sometimes. In a corner of the room, Shaoni saw a woman who was thinking about having a baby. She didn't have the baby yet, but by the mere fact of thinking about the baby, wishing it, desiring it, the baby sort of materialized from the colors as an image in front of her. Shaoni could clearly see the baby. He could even see the love the woman felt for this baby, a love that emanated from within this woman. Another woman entered the room. She too had a baby, except this was a real baby. Shaoni observed how the two women were drawn to each other, almost as if a river of invisible energy was flowing between them, pulling them together. An intense feeling of love filled the entire room, an energy so visible that Shaoni could literally see how it created. It created the unborn baby, as if it was already there. Shaoni looked on, in awe of what he witnessed. There, in front of his very eyes, he saw how the waves of energy created the perfect image of a baby created by the mere feelings of intense love that he had just observed. By now the image was so clearly visible that Shaoni wondered if it would have been visible in the physical world as well. Shaoni could hardly believe it. Is this then how it worked? Is this how things were created? Had he just seen the law of creation at work? Again Shaoni looked around. This time, his attention was caught by a middle-aged man. It was obvious that he too was feeling great, except that he wasn't thinking about a baby, but about a car. His car, or to be more precise, the car that he imagined having. It was truly the car of his dreams. He could see himself owning it, his friends admiring it, congratulating him for owning such a wonderful car. He experienced the joy of cruising in it along the open roads. And all of these feelings filled him with joy. The more he thought about the car, the more he filled it with positive feelings, the more the image took shape. Shaoni understood that the man was creating the reality of the car, just as the woman had created the reality of the baby. But just when Shaoni wanted to look away, he saw how the energies of the man changed completely. Suddenly, the man's heart filled with pain. The feelings of joy melted away, and as they did, the image of the car melted too. Suddenly, the car was no more. Worse even, the very image of the car had been replaced by an image of disgust. Clearly, the man didn't want the car. He despised the car. He hated the car. That is at least what it looked like to Shaoni now. Shaoni looked closer. Had he seen it wrong the first time?